Today we're going to simplify radicals using Desmos. So let's say we want to simplify the radical. Let's do square root of 12. Okay, you get a decimal that says 3.46410 on and on. But when you're simplifying a radical, you're not supposed to have any decimals. Simplifying a radical means breaking down the radical such that it can't be broken down any further, but you're not going to get a decimal as an answer. So how do we do that? Just like in a graphing calculator, you can figure out how to simplify the radical. And I'm going to show you how to do that in Desmos. First of all, you're going to put whatever numbers under the radical, which is 12, and then you're going to say divided by, and you're going to say x squared because you're finding the square root, so you have to square it. Then we're going to hit our little our tool here to edit, and we're going to hit our table so we can get a table of values. Now, it only goes to a certain number, but you can just keep going to get to the next number. So if I punch 3, then I get that 4. So I like to hit a few just to have a few down the row. Now, to simplify your radical here, if you want to simplify square root of 12, you're looking for the smallest number in your y column, the last whole number that you get before it starts going into all decimals. And as you can see, 3 is the last whole number here, and it starts going into 1.3, 0.5, There's no more whole numbers that are going to keep coming up. So this number in the y column would be your a number that goes under the radical, and then the number in the x column next to it is the number that goes outside of the radical. So the square root of 12 is written as 2 radical 3. And that's how we simplify the radical in Desmos. Let's try one more example so you can see that happening. Okay, so we'll go back to Desmos. I'm going to pick a new number here. Okay, I'm going to pick the square root of, let's say, 96. Okay, so square root of 96 is 9.799, but as you can see, I always like to type it in the calculator first so you can see if you get a straight out decimal, if you don't get a whole number or just an integer by itself, then it's not a perfect square. And if it's not a perfect square, that's when you have to break it down to its simplest form. So we're going to go here, we're going to type 96 divided by x squared. Okay, I'm going to go to our tool here. We're going to hit table, and we're going to go ahead and just punch in 3, just punch in a few. Okay, and then we're going to look in our y columns, 24, 96, 96, 24, 6. 6 seems to be our last whole number here that we get before it. You see all the numbers after decimals, no more whole numbers. So 6 is our number that goes under the radical, and the 4 next to it is our number that goes outside of the radical. So the square root of 96 is 4 radical 6. And that's how you simplify radicals using Desmos.